Let's go.
I know you guys obviously came out early in the game last week trying to establish the run. It seemed like it still wasn't clicking. Just reviewing the tape, what do you think you guys need to do to turn it around moving forward?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Run game,
Yeah.
early in the game against the
Yeah.
Panthers, it wasn't clicking. I know in the second half you had to get away from it because of the way the game went.
Sure.
What do you think is still kind of missing in the run game?
Well, it's like anything. I think we got to take the execution from practice. We got to apply it to the field, and I think the execution has gotten better in practice each and every game. I think, and honestly, all relative, right? But I felt like the execution up front was a lot better this past week than it had been. So I think that part of it's getting better, and then it all tying together. Everything has to flow together. I think when you see like the offenses start to roll and kind of what like that second half of the Ravens is when all the pieces are kind of flowing together, and the execution. You convert third downs. I think the one thing that was improved was it wasn't third and longs like it had been, and I think that part of it is a testament to improving that run game. So, we just got to keep sawing wood and then improve the execution on the practice field, and then we'll take that thing to the game field.
As you evaluated last week, did you think there was times where everybody knew you guys wanted to establish a run? That's what's talked about so much. Was there times maybe you forced it when it didn't need to be forced?
Yeah, I don't think the word is forced. I think it's important to establish the run. I think I don't think we put ourselves in any advantageous positions to run. I don't think that. I think we got to do a better job coaching it, and players got to do a better job executing. And that's as simple as an answer as I can get, but it really is. I think that's simple. We just got to do, have greater attention to detail, and we will.
Luke, Zeus last year, when he took over, was one of the best backs in the NFL. So when you see 3 games in, still trying to adjust, how much of it is just still learning a new scheme, maybe having to change a little bit to his strengths? Where's the balance there?
Well, any player that you have on your team, you want to always do things that help them be the best that they're capable of being, and then you want to make sure you're taking advantage of whatever the defense is giving you too, right? So you always want to balance those things out, and it's not just Z, it's the whole group, right? We talk about it in our room all the time. It's 11 as one. Every person has a part in the run game, including the quarterback, making sure that we're in the right look, making sure everyone's hitting their aiming points the way they're supposed to. And when that clicks, it all feels and looks right, and that's what we're all hunting. It's not one particular person. It's not one particular unit. When you're running the football, it's 11 as one and always will be.
Antonio's kind of hinted that there would be some changes this week. He said we'd have to wait and see. Not asking for any specifics, but are we at the point of the season where things are still evolving offensively to where you're trying to get to that point where
they're 100% are, right? I mean, it's the beginning of a new season, of a new regime, and a new system, and we're only 3 games into this thing. You got horns you got to deal with, right, on Steiner? No, that's part of the growth, man. This is if it was. Everyone be able to do it if it was all easy, right? And I think that's part of the challenge that we have here. We know we got the right people in the building, we got the right coaches, we got the right players. It's just going to continue to get better each and every week. And I know last week didn't look and feel the way anybody wanted it to, right? We're all on the same page there, but we feel like we're getting better. We feel like we had a really good day of practice yesterday, and we're excited to get back out there and get another crack at it today.
Following up on your last answer, you talked about execution and everything. I asked AP yesterday about third downs. If it's 3rd and 5, throw in 3. And he said, you're not drawing those plays up. That's execution. So, Luke, how do you fix it? Is it simply telling guys you got to get down the field? How do you, and I know you're not going to give state secrets, but how do you fix it when it is execution?
No, I think to answer the execution question, it goes back to what you already asked before, right? It's about giving guys opportunities to go have success. It's making sure everybody's on the same page, and then it's going out and practicing and gaining that confidence, and then taking it and applying it to the game field. And I think everybody in this building sees it every single day, getting better and better. And I think we're excited, and the guys are excited. The brotherhood in that room is really strong, so we're leaning on that. It's going to keep continuing to get better, and we're excited for it.
A bit of a deja vu for you, I'm not sure, but when DJ Glaze has to go in on that third play to kind of replace Thayer, going from what you saw in training camp to that moment, what do you think is the improvements that DJ made, and also how do you think he did?
I thought he did a great job. I mean, for a young guy, again, we're fortunate. Jackson went in there too, and as a young guy, and you got Brock. You got a lot of young guys that are going in there that are confident in doing what they're doing. So, they're prepared. And then the second part of it's not too big for them. I think that's the poise and composure that those young guys are showing are really cool. And I think it's we're looking forward to continue to grow all that stuff for all those guys. But speaking on DJ particularly, I thought, just be able to go in there and handle that situation on the whim like he did, and play as much as he had to play, and have the whole game plan at his hands. It's not like we just said, hey, this is your series and you got these plays and you're good, right? So he had to handle it all, and he did a really nice job.
When you watch the film of the game on Sunday, what are your takeaways from the offense? What's the next step for Gardner?
Yeah, like I said, I think in the first half, it's one of those ones where the game went the way it went, so it felt worse than it was. You watched the film and you felt a little bit better about that the way the first half came. We got to continue to get better in the run game. We know that. These 2-3 yard runs, they need to turn into 7-8 yard runs, and we know that. We're capable of it. We know that it's right there. And I think as far as evaluating the second half, when you're in that catch-up mode, it turns the game a little bit differently. So now you're kind of like not in the normal football anymore. So we've had too much practice at that. We're ready to get this thing out in front of it and control the clock, whether that's run, whether that's completions, and then Gardner's a big part of that. We put a lot on his plate. He can handle all of that, right? Whether it's the run checks, run to pass, pass to run, all that stuff that he does a really good job with all of it. And then the consistency's been there. He's completing the football the way we're asking to. We just got to nip those little turnovers in the bud. If he gets rid of those 1 or 2 plays a game, I think he's playing pretty strong football.
Luke, Antonio after the loss against Carolina said coaches will probably have to coach the players a little tougher, and players will have to be receptive to that tougher coaching. Has there been a shift this week in preparation in that sense, and how do you go about that?
I think, as every coach does, right, whenever things don't go the way you want to make sure you look yourself in the mirror first, and I think that's all that is a reflection of. You're making sure you're dotting all your I's, you're crossing all your T's, but these guys know we're going to be who we are. We're consistent every day. We bring the energy. We're the same person every single day. We're there for these guys, and we always will be. I think that, we make sure we're all, you don't want to just keep doing what you're doing. You want to make sure you're looking in the mirror and make sure you're feeling really good about what you do. And maybe there is something here or there that you can kind of tweak and make it better. And we always do that.
What have you seen from the Cleveland defense? Obviously, a lot of talent on that side, and they've got a guy like Myles Garrett out there, but status, I guess, questionable. Do you prepare as if he's just going to be at full strength? Is there things you can do with or without him on the field?
I mean, even if he's not full strength, he's still the best player in the league. You know what I mean? This guy's unbelievable. And then you had Zadarius on the other side of it that does what he does. You take Coach Schwartz's scheme, all that stuff. They got a really good defense. They have had these last year we got to play against them too, and it's a good solid group that they pose a lot of challenges. We're excited for the challenge. I think this is going to be a really good benchmark for us going against a really good defense, and we're excited for that opportunity. But it's never fun going against the best in the league. Unfortunately, we get to practice against one every single day too.
Clearly, nobody wanted you to start 1 and 2 in this building, but how much do you have to, especially with young players, don't press the panic button? There's 14 games left. How much do you have to instill that sometimes in guys?
Yeah, they've never even played 14, right? And they've already played 3. I think that's a huge part of this. The league that we're in is that way. Everybody, every week you're the best, and then the very next week you're the worst, and that's the reality of the society that we live in, and we signed up for it. We're all good with that. But to walk into a building as a young guy, that's a new perspective. And I think it's about coming to work every day and getting better. And we do our best to make sure we're focusing on the process and not necessarily that outcome, because we know that if we got the process right, then it'll turn into a bunch of wins in a row. And that's what we're looking for. We're not looking to just make it perfect right now. We want to make this thing sustainable, and we're on that right track.
Luke, the offensive line has struggled this season. AP has mentioned it before. I'm curious as to how their struggles impact your play calling.
Well, like I said, I think that they've gotten better each and every week, and I think the camaraderie part of it, the playing next to the same guy, is going to make a big impact on being able to be more consistent on a game-to-game basis. Anytime you're playing, different people in different spots, and every game it's different, or every whatever series it might be different, that's a difficult task. I think the brotherhood, the communication that you have to have up front, and the kind of the unspoken language that when you see something and you're able to react to it, that's how lines become elite. And so I think just playing together, practicing together, playing together, this group's the right group, and I think we have a really good set of guys that are going to just continue to get better and better.
JPJ played well, AP said yesterday, and said he earned more. What do you, to be able to have 2 rookies on that line performing at the level they are, how much of a blessing is that as a coach, especially when you look at depth in this league?
Yeah, no, I think it's a testament to Coach Krager, Coach Philbin, those guys doing a really good job to get those guys mentally prepared for it, because it's not an easy task, right? The offensive line is a beast in this league, especially when you have the best position in the game is the defensive line right now, right? And you have to be able to respond to all that stuff is really cool. And the composure of those two young guys is a testament to them and their preparation, before they got here and while they've been here. But I think the coolest part about them is their play style. I think when you see the way they're finishing, the way that they're running off the rock, like all that stuff is really cool to see. And it's just, we're going to be able to lean on them more and more as the season goes on.
The national narrative on like a lot of the talk shows this week is offense is down, defense is so far ahead. What does offense have to do to catch up? Have you seen that? Is there a trend that you've noticed or anything that could explain it?
I can't honestly say that I've looked enough around the league to say that's true or not true or whatever. I think it's a general statement for what we were just talking about. When you have a new group of guys playing together that haven't ever played together, it takes a little time. And if that's the case, whether it's a system or whether it's an offensive line or a quarterback or whatever, I think that stuff does take time. I just reflect on my past experiences, and that's always been the case. We had the best player in the league in 19 in Green Bay, right? But our offense wasn't very good. We had Devontae. So you had two of the best players in the league, but it just took time. And then you saw in 20, it turned into the best offense in the league. And so that stuff takes time. As long as your processes are right, as long as you're giving yourself an opportunity to go be successful in every single play, you got to continue with that, believe in that, and we do that here. Thanks, guys.